today we are going to make a shadow box using my Gothic Romance scrapbooking papers and ephemera book. And even if you don't want to make a shadow box, you can look at the papers to see if there's another Halloween crafting project you may have that these would fit. So stick around and we will dive into it. So I don't know if you had a chance to see my earlier flip through of this Gothic Romance book that I created for this Halloween, and it's full of gorgeous roses and candles and romantic couples. We've got castles and masks and skulls and all kinds of fun Halloween stuff. Then we've got some pumpkins and bling. And if this is shiny, so the papers are black and red, obviously, mostly black and red. There's some gray, but it really picks up the light, so I apologize if there's a glare. We've got love potions and our couples and their mansions. And then here you've got places to put pictures, spooky night. And then some more love potions, lots of roses and candles and jewelry. We've got some skulls, dancing couples, more room here to put your photos. And then another photo spot. And then we got some frames. I actually used this one for last year's photos. And then we've got some sayings here to cut out, some tags, and more little ephemera to cut out. So that's this little book. And what we're going to use, it's an 8x8. Now the papers are 8.5 by 8.5, but we're going to cut it down. So this is 8x8, and I buy them in bulk from Amazon. It's just plain wood. And then Charlie spray painted it for me with a glossy wood spray paint. I think he said it took 2 coats. All right, so what we're going to do, we need our base picture, and for this one I used the lady that's on the cover, but then there's a separate paper of her, but she's the one who's on the cover as well. But I like to layer them, so that's kind of like what gives you that look, different layers here. So I thought for this one we would use this gal, and what I'm going to do, so you just need to, if you want this in the center like that, you just got to then measure where to cut. And I'll probably go get my trimmer. That's the one thing I didn't bring was my trimmer. But what I did for this one is I just kind of clipped it where I know I want it to be. And actually, you know what? This might work too. Just fold it there. That's a little bit better. Make your little fold marks without wrinkling your paper too much. Might wrinkle the paper too much with this one. All right, let's just make a little notch here. And if it's a little bit longer, we can cut it down, because even if it's shorter, that's black in the back, so it's not going to be too bad. I didn't bring my trimmer, so I'm going to run and get that. All right, so we'll just cut this at our little marks here where I folded it. And I think it ends up being about, I don't know, maybe 7.5 on the inside, because the frame is 8x8. Okay, let's see how that's doing. All right. Yeah, and now we can just make sure, now that we have that in there, that we get our bottom where we want it. All right. This is the unofficial non-measuring way to do it. I hate to measure. Of course, you know, it'd be a lot more accurate if you did measure. Oh, that wasn't too good. All right, and then I just used my fabric glue to glue this down in. I use the Beacon fabric tack. I use that for almost everything. Okay, and then we'll just go ahead and put this down in there. Now, for sake of time, I went ahead and cut out some pieces that I thought might work. But what you want to do is just look for pieces that, like I thought this one would fit in here, like this to kind of be in the middle. And then this one we're going to put on the outside, like that. And then I've got these couple other little pieces we'll play with, and I have some flowers and some bling, and we're just going to play and see how it all works out. Now on this one I put everything on the right side. On this one I'm going to do it on the left side. We've got those pretty candles here. And then I'm going to show you, when we get done everything, I'm going to show you how I put these on cardstock. I use that double sticky paper, and then I attach my scrapbooking paper to the cardstock, and then I fussy cut, and that makes it nice and sturdy for a project like this. Now what I used to raise this was this packing foam. So I'm sure you get some of this in your packaging, or any kind of foam would do. And then I just cut a piece. This is real easy to cut, and I'll just cut a piece that will make that stand up. And memory serves me right from the other when I made that last week, I had to even like trim it, like it was too thick. So we'll see how that goes. But like I said, this cuts really easily, and so we want it to be smaller than this, obviously, because we don't want it to show. Not that you would see it anyway, unless it was sticking way out, then you'd see it. So we just make us a little piece there to raise this, and yeah, that's too thick because it would put it up there, and that's let me show you. So, so that would put it, we want layers, so we want about, this about halfway. So I am going to, and it wasn't too hard, I just kind of sliced through it to make it thinner. Of course I wasn't on video doing it. Let me see if a knife might work better. All right, I got my craft knife, let's see how that works. So you just want to cut down. It might tear for us after we get it cut enough. Yeah. Now, let's see which size we want. I'm thinking the really thin one there. Let's see. Yeah, it's about perfect. So we'll glue that down. Let's just keep playing a minute, though, where we start gluing down. And then I was thinking this could go on the outside, like that. And I like how this is light there, and that kind of lightens everything up. I like that. I really do. Okay, the other things I have to play with. So we have this little wine glass. Could pop up there or pop over here. We got a candle. I haven't really fooled with any of these yet. And then we have Veil of Roses I cut out. That would probably go over here as our title, unless it went over here with that. Let's see. Or could go like that. Nope, that doesn't work. I think it just, I don't know that we're going to use these. We probably don't need them. We don't want to overdo it. This will pop up a little bit higher with some foam. And then we'll have our layers like that. Now, what finishes this off, and of course I'm going to put some bling, and I've got some different flowers here. But what I did with this one, I have an entire box, probably everybody does, an entire box of broken jewelry, or missing. Like this one wasn't broken, but the other earring was missing. So I I thought, well, I'd use that on there. I think that looks great. So, you know, if you just want to use some of your broken jewelry and so forth, this was actually, I used to belly dance, and this was a belly kind of jewelry. And I mean, it goes around your waist, but it never really worked right. It would get caught in my costumes and stuff. So I was thinking that might look pretty there. We'll see. And I've also got, so I have all those flowers that I had from Prima Marketing. And out of all of those, though, I hardly had any red. And this isn't exactly right, but it depends on where we put it. It might not have to be exact. What do y'all think? I don't know. But see, there's too much pink in there. That's what, I really like that rose. Then what I did, I thought to save time, I've got some stickles, and I have mica flakes, but somewhere I have my stickles and rock candy, and I put it on it. It kind of looks like gold to me instead of silver, so I don't know. That might end up working. I did that ahead of time because I wanted it to dry. So we're probably going to put a rose. Oh, we're going to put a rose somewhere. I don't know where yet. But I wish this would have worked. But I think it's that pink that is throwing it off, maybe. And this color here. So anyway, I'll find some use for that one, though. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start gluing them down. And then we've got like all kinds of little blingy things here to add. So let's do that. And I'm just going to glue this down and then glue the other piece on top of it. Probably out of camera shot. I'm going to put the glue on this time. And that'll be our little anchor for this piece. I think these are just so much fun. Have you ever made any shadow boxes? Let me know. And if you did, put a picture in. I'd love to see them. Then you put this one here. And then we'll get some foam. We're going to probably ink this up and then get some foam and put that on there. See, I mean, you can make these in a breeze. It does not take any time at all. And they make nice gifts, really nice gifts. So I got this red ink at the last scrapbooking fair that I was at, and I knew it would come in handy eventually with Christmas coming up. Of course, it was in the summer when I went to that, but anyway, let's go ahead and ink this up. Give that a little bit of a second to dry. We might put some bling on it too. More than likely we will. And now we're going to glue this down, and we just want to glue the edges. So we can either glue on here or here. We'll just do it on our piece so that we don't go over. Like so. You know, and you can do all kinds of things. You can take ribbon and tie ribbon, you know, and make a little bow on these, or they're just so fun, and you can make them in a matter of no time. And if you buy them in bulk like that, these little, you know, pieces raw like that, they're not that expensive. You can give these as gifts. All right. And then what we want to do is we'll probably put some bling on that, but I'm going to pop it up first, and we'll just use another little piece. Oh, actually, I got a piece left over from that project, and I think that'll fit on there. It might be a little bit too big. Nope, if we put it just like that, it'll be right. Actually, I want the flat side on here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my glue on here. This has a little bit of a dent, and I want the flat side to be on here so that it stays even. And really with these, they're very forgiving. It's not like you have to be so exact or it's noticeable, because it's really not. Hopefully that's not going to show. No. Maybe trim a little bit of that edge off. There we go, just to be sure. Be on the safe side. And I kind of like it at a little bit of a tilt there. And the idea that makes these so nice is just the layering, you know, getting them at the different levels. Okay, so I do have some hearts here. No, I think that would take up too much there. Are these bling? This bling might look okay on that rose. Yep. Kind of big. Gotta have smaller somewhere. Okay, and I was thinking this would look nice with bling around it, but I don't really see. It's just too much, so we won't do that. And now I'm wondering that I have silver. I think that still does look nice. Okay, let's see. That, and I did want to do a flower as well. So, oh, that might be too big. What do you think? I mean, usually I don't like to have, well, I mean, that is an odd number, it's 1, but usually you like to have 3 or 5 or 7, but there's not room on here for that, and I've got little teeny tiny flowers that would be great, but they're not the right color. They're more of a purplish. So I might not be able to put a flower on there. I just wish that was a little bit smaller. Okay. Or there's possible, and this is the fun part, the playing. And it's offset a little bit. Nope, I still don't think it works. I think it's just too big. Oh, that's a little bit better because it brings that gold in there. Maybe that was meant to be, that it was a little gold. Let's try that. Okay, so I've got to cut these pieces with my little jewelry cutter, so I'll be right back. All right, so I think, I mean, I'd rather have too much than not enough, but I don't want it to droop down too much. I kind of like having the 2 pieces like that, so that's why I was thinking I would keep it where we've got 2 pieces. Yep. Now that other one cut slick as could be. We could just use it this way. I don't waste as much. And then just cut the other piece off of this. Okay. Lost one of our diamonds there. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Try to put those on there and then put the rose on top. So, I kind of liked it a little bit draping, but I don't want it to drape too much. And I just used my glue, and that other one held just fine with this glue. Like glue everywhere. Yeah, think about like that. And then we just want to put the other one a little bit below it. And I'm working fast, so I'm making a mess with my glue, which I normally would not. I'd take a little bit more time, but I don't want to hold you all up too much. There, and I'll cut those pieces off later. I can just cut them off, and then we've got this. So, this gives it a little bit of bling. I probably could have put them down a little bit more. Oh well. I'll probably redo that. I'm not so crazy about that, but you get the idea of how to do this. Don't do as I do, do as I say. All right, so I do think that'll still look pretty. I'll come back with the final. Yeah, I mean, I didn't want it too draping down. Okay, so there's that one done in a matter of minutes, really. I wanted to show you, the last thing I wanted to show you was how I do this. I've shown this on other videos, but in case you haven't seen it, I use this, and I need to get some more because I use this all the time. This is double sticky paper that I get from Amazon, and you just peel the main backing off first, and then try not to get stuck to it. Stick everything else to it. And then I put my cardstock on this. It looks like I got some of my thumbnail color there. And just line this up as best you can. And once it's down, it grabs. Let me tell you, you do not have a second chance with this. You got to get it right away. And I have to use, I don't know if you all can do without it, but I cannot. I have to use this to get that edge up. Hopefully it's not going to take too long here on camera. Because it doesn't, and this part never wants to come up. There we go. Okay. So then once you have your cardstock down and then this sticky part out, you're going to take your paper, and I want to use these candles for another shadow box. So I'm going to just line it up here. And of course, with this being 8.5 by 8.5, it's not going to go on the whole way, but I do that, and then you can, and yeah, if you didn't have broken jewelry, there's like jewelry in the papers too that you could use. Because see, I'm probably going to use these candles at some point in time, so I would just cut it out like this with my big scissors and then go back in and trim it a little bit closer. Yeah, it depends on how much of it you want. And you can even go in further on the candles, like you could make your little, like I did with these. You kind of go in on your little candle light there. And you just would keep fussy cutting it till you got it the way you wanted it for your project. So I did want to show you that quick little tip that I use for most of my projects, because you know, scrapbooking paper isn't usually that thick, but if you put it on cardstock, then you can have it as thick as you want, depending on what weight of cardstock you use. All right, that is it for today. I now have 2 shadow boxes. All right, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.